MSD podcast, Women in CQC. Over the decades, we have not recruited near as many women as men. However, in the last decade, more and more female exponents have applied and been accepted. MSD and military CQC are very different to competitive combat sports, as there are no gender categories, weight or age divisions, and we do not discriminate against any gender or age group as long as everyone meets the responsible joining requirements and are committed to their self-improvement. MSD and CQC makes good sense for women looking for self-defense skills, as nothing is more proven, in my opinion, than dirty, foul military self-defense and military close quarters combat tactics and skills. The skills were developed to combat and counter enemy fighting arts, with the combatant having the minimal training time and sometimes just above an enabling level of competency and capability. While in competitive codes, it will be very difficult for a considerably smaller exponent and often a smaller female exponent to be able to achieve objectives against a much larger, physically capable, stronger male exponent. This is not the case with dirty, foul, tricks brigade, MIL CQC and MIL self-defense skills employments. What it comes down to is the individual exponent's level of mental toughness and ability to overcome their fears and the stresses of situations and employ the skills with cunning, deception, and ruthlessness. The tactics and skills being based on best of dirty tricks brigade practices and principles provide highest level of threat neutralization and objective achievement, maximizing safety. Female exponents at the Todd Group are equals with their male counterparts and are respected for their commitment, dedication, and levels of competency and capability. All exponents, regardless of gender, undergo the same training and same testing regimes to achieve promotion and rank, and are all respected for their ability to surpass the training and testing requirements. Coming up to our 100th anniversary celebrations in 2027, I can tell you that some of the female exponents and proponents we have trained, tested and qualified over more than 9 decades have proven to be high-level proponents and instructors. Todd Group members have the advantages of being exposed to our specialist skills that we have developed, including the DWAR, Declare War Against Rape, means of serious sexual predator threat neutralization. Todd Group HQ being the caretakers of the doctrine and training packages, as well as the developers of specialist threat-specific tactics and skills programs, provides access to our members to upskill in these specialist skill sets, providing even more capabilities for them to overcome very specific threat types and situations. The ethos of our MIL self-defense and MIL CQC is to arm even the underdog with the capabilities to threat neutralize and overdog violent assaulter. And this fits well with training those that are females or of small size and strength capabilities. The tactics and skills provide increased confidence by the exponent knowing that if they effectively employ them, they will incapacitate anyone regardless of size, physical attributes, advantages, or gender. They focus on the targeting of human sensors and human life support systems that, if successfully targeted, will result in the assaulter being incapacitated. It comes down to not just the skills, but also the means of setting up, initiating, and executing the skills by means of deception, distractions, cunning, dirty tricks brigade practices that make them vulnerable to being targeted and incapacitated. The employment of gross motor skills like stamp kicks, the same sort of stamp kicking action used to break kindling for lighting the fire, but employed to destroy the ligaments of the kneecap and knee joint, provide high-level capabilities for even someone of considerably lesser size and strength. The DWAR tactics and skills include how to destroy the weapon, that being the male genitals, to the point of the sexual offender being unable to assault or escape. They also include the use of small, insignificant-looking, improvised objects to cause total incapacitation. Our female exponents seek skills that are both safe and effective. They are not looking for take-on fight skills. They are looking for skills that will enable them, with maximum safety, the best chances of overcoming a violent assaulter. Everything about their MSD and MIL CQC training is about hard targeting them, maximising their safety and their effective output, beginning with boots, as boots are for combat, bare feet are for bathing, utilising the hard sole of the boot to target and destroy the closest extremity, the assaulter's front leg, with the objective of destroying the knee joint or kneecap ligaments. They seek and thrive with skills that provide the best of battle-proven, foul and dirty tricks brigade means and methods of winning, not merely surviving under assault. And if that means eye spiking or destruction of the male genitals, then so be it, as winning is all that matters when fighting for the most important trophy, that being your self-protection, safety, and the destruction of threats against you by assaulter, threat neutralization, incapacitation. Todd Group training females that are dedicated, committed, selfless, and driven to become the best exponent, proponent, or instructor they can be, that possess high-level skills, capabilities, and that are mentally tough, committed, and dedicated to their training, can be invited to join a special fraternity, that being the FUGS, FUGS, Female Unarmed Combat Guns, testament to them possessing high-level confidence, capabilities, and the fitting makeup and attributes to be considered for this special fraternity that epitomizes female dedication, commitment, and capability to the pursuit of CQC and MSD excellence. I am often asked by female applicants what is required to make it to the top in our MIL CQC and MIL self-defense, and I simply explain willpower, dedication, determination, a commitment to being the best you can be, and you need to have a good sense of humor, as very little is sacred in the practical, hands-on realist realm of MIL, CQC and MSD training. Right from the outset, by the MSD and CQC training provision, modus operandi, exponents are provided with a range of skill sets options in each threat neutralization category to fit with their physical and mental makeups and levels of physicality capabilities. Once they have selected the skill sets that work best for them, then they can go about high repetition practice and increasing their physicality capabilities, generating momentum and velocity, increasing their chances of effective threat neutralization. Importantly, exponents, regardless of gender, must be practical realists. They must not be thin-skinned, and they must be able to deal with adversity, including overcoming the effects of bastardization as part of their mental toughness enhancement. The Todd Group developed the Brain to Boot Mental Toughness Enhancement Manual and Training Program for military self-defense and military close combat, and all members undergo training in the full tactics and skills of the Brain to Boot package to maximize their intestinal fortitude, inner resolve, and CQC mental toughness capabilities. Todd Group MSD and MIL CQC training fits with the needs and requirements of the practical realists we recruit, as they are not looking for traditional fighting arts prowess or combat sports capabilities and have no desire to enter in competitive codes, but want to know how to take care of themselves and their family and friends should they face a violent threat situation. While it's not for everyone, it certainly is for those that have done their research and are looking for tactics and skills that have been developed for the battlefield and proven to be the best of battle-proven means of enemy threat neutralization. Our female rank and file that have tested and surpassed testing regimes have proven themselves and earned the respect of their fellow exponents, proponents, and of their instructors, and are a valuable part of the Todd Group. They know well what gives them the capabilities to be able to neutralize even an overdog male aggressor is the foul and dirty tricks brigade tactics and skills that are what MSD and MIL CQC are made up from and what they promote as primary practices, giving the user the highest levels of objective achievement capabilities and maximizing the user's safety in the objective of overdog threat neutralization achievement. All different exponents with their different mental and physical makeups, backgrounds, personalities, attitudes, and attributes make the Todd Group the diverse group of like-minded individuals that make up our rank and file that it is. While they all may be different in their makeups and outlooks, they all share the same desire to learn MSD and CQC, just like at our combat sports school of wrestling, where females' skills executions can be somewhat different to the males because of their physical makeups. They bring to their MSD and CQC training the same physicality and physical action, means and methods. They are often more flexible and fluid in actions, less inhibited, and realize that to defeat violent, physically superior, strength-wise and size-wise male assaulters, they must use every bit of cunning, nous, and must be able to definitely and deliberately, ruthlessly target soft targets to ensure the neutralization of their assaulter. In many ways, they do not have to be of high-level physicality capabilities by the very nature of the Foul Dirty Tricks Brigade means of assaulter incapacitation, including the use of improvised objects as improvised weapons that provide even greater enhanced capabilities of threat neutralization. They know well and have been told and continue to be told the most important attribute is their inner resolve, intestinal fortitude, and CQC mental toughness that has a modus operandi of best of battle-proven dirty tricks, foul means of enemy threat neutralization. You are best at what you practice most, and if you are the underdog, practicing best of Foul Dirty Tricks Brigade means of enemy incapacitation makes sense. The females that we train know the disadvantages they face up against a much bigger, stronger, violent criminal male assaulter and would never believe they have the capabilities to take them on in a fight, but they know their best chances of defeating such foes are by best of battle-proven foul methods of assaulter incapacitation. Training in MSD and CQC for a female is truly being part of a practice that identifies them as equals, as it has no competitive aspects and is not concerned with the art, form, or competition, but is only committed to self-defense and CQC combat and countermeasures of overkill means of threat neutralization, giving its practitioners a high level of chance in safe and effective enemy threat neutralization. While MSD and CQC is not for everyone, and some people simply cannot or are not prepared to be ruthless and use skills required to effectively incapacitate assaulters. Others are more interested in traditional arts prowess or in competitive codes, achievement of titles, which is admirable. This is not what MSD and CQC is about, and is certainly not what our female exponents join up to achieve advancement in. Female candidates on Phase 1 basic testing phases have high-level chances of proving themselves and surpassing the testing requirements regardless of disparities in physical size and strength if they are highly mentally determined and prepared to prove themselves by use of the battle-proven tactics and skills that prove they are strong of mind and skills capable of neutralizing even an overdog assaulter in a real-life violent actions on and prove themselves against physically superior candidates under Phase 1 basic testing. Our female exponents are treated exactly the same as their male counterparts, and this is something they appreciate. They are not looking for backhand salutes, political passes based on gender. They want to be treated as equals, and they want to overcome any disadvantages by means of mental toughness and proven skills capabilities.